guys, I actually cannot see myself right now because I do have y'all in a window and the sun is directly in front of me, so it's really bright. Actually move that down a little bit. Okay, I can kind of see myself better now, so my apologies for the lighting for the start of Vlogmas, as making sure I was recording Vlogmas episode 2. Basically what I'm doing is once I get an hour of footage, that will be the vlog. So the vlogs might not have outros, some might, I don't know. I wanted to take advantage of the hotel Wi-Fi to get a video upload because it uploads so fast, but my dad said I can always come back here and upload my videos because the internet here is amazing. Like, this is the best hotel internet I've ever had, internet anywhere, to be honest. So I might have to take advantage of that. So I uploaded a video on my Facebook page today, and then I uploaded the last week's vlog, but it's going up on Friday. It's scheduled to go up on Friday. But we are going to begin into reading in After the Flood. This is a sci-fi dystopian. The whole world has been flooded except like some mountaintops, and this woman is trying to find her daughter who her husband took from her and they were never seen again. So she has heard word that her daughter might be in the far north in like Greenland, so she is on the quest to find her daughter and get her daughter back. I am currently on page 327, which is chapter 46. I'm going to try to finish it today. I don't know if I actually will be able to or not. I think I'm at like 72% of the way through. It's an all right book. I am liking it, but it's gonna be a 3-star, so I'd recommend picking up if you like the genre. But if this is a genre that you don't really read that much of, then I wouldn't recommend picking it up, and just try to find another book with similar themes. I don't know, but I'm gonna get into reading now. It's 3 o'clock. A lot to show you that I got at Target. Quite a bit, but so I got 2 totes. I think y'all know about their Christmas totes. I got just 2 green ones. Red is my favorite color, but green is like, I don't really care because I don't care what color a box is. But I got 2 of those because I am going to put some books in there that I just don't have anywhere to put, and then some Funkos as well, because again, I have nowhere to store my Funkos. I have some places, but I have too many, so you know. And then let me just show y'all the rest of what I got. So actually I got this at Food Lion the other day, and I never showed y'all the Abominable Snowman. We love him because we know I love Bigfoot and like all those kind of guys. But then my dad got this. These are to and from stickers, and ooh, like that's super nice. So to and from stickers to, you know, put on gifts. Then I got this ornament. I wanted the Abominable Snowman one. I saw it because I went there the other day to pick up snacks, and I saw the Abominable Snowman ornament and the Rudolph ornament, but I did not see the Abominable Snowman this time, so I got Rudolph. Rudolph is just, I love him. He's so cute and sweet and wholesome. And then this one is a gift for somebody else, but I do need to do arts and crafts with it to switch the years and all of that. Like this, like the person I'm getting this for knows I'm getting it for them. But then we did get some, they didn't have the actual Hickory Farm crackers, so these are Sit and Gather, which is the Target brand, so hopefully they taste similar. But I really love the Hickory Farms crackers. You can get them online, I'm pretty sure, but at the moment that's just what I got. But as you can see, I did get some Hickory Farms. I got turkey because their turkey is really the only turkey that I like. Well, I like turkey at like Subway and Jimmy John's, but like for dried meat turkey, the only one I like is Hickory Farms. Highly recommend. Then I got this, and it was on sale. So I saw this on Instagram forever ago. I'm not gonna do the sound because it does play music too, and I don't want to get copyrighted. But it's the North Pole Radio, so it's originally $25, and I got it for $17. So that is amazing. I'm so happy because I was really debating on getting it because I was like, $25, that's a lot. Do I want to spend that much? And then it was on sale, so super happy about that. So it's a North Pole Radio. Turn the dial to hear 3 stations. Play Santa's Radio Network, the Elf News Network, and 9 Christmas carols. So it's just like a retro radio, and then you can carry it. Like I was carrying it through the store like this. Like I felt like I had a little briefcase. So then I got cookie dough. So it's not open, don't worry, because my dad was like really concerned that it was open, but we're good. We're good. And then for my bathroom, so I did not even think of this. So as in last week's vlog, there was like a mouse in my bathtub. Y'all know that the exterminator has come. It's fine. But my dad was like, they can climb up the shower curtain, and that freaked me out. So I was like, I am gonna buy a new shower curtain. So they did not have the like vintage flower one that I wanted. Like it said on the app they had it, but I didn't see it. So I got this one that just has citrus fruits, oranges and all on it. And then I got a new rug as well, which is this yellow one. I wanted to go like with really warm, and looks like the color palette. So this one doesn't really have yellow in it, because the one that I originally wanted had yellow in it, so it would match, but I still think this color palette does go well. And as you can see in this, there's yellow on the wall in the display picture or whatever. So that's the bathroom theme going in. My towel's purple, so I don't know how well that will go with these colors, but I'm not a perfectionist and that kind of thing. And then I did get 3 bags, gift bags. Might need more, might not need all these, but I knew I needed some, but I don't have an exact number. So I got this little one with mittens on it. This was $2. And then I love the Santa Claus one. So that side, and then this side is a matte version, and this was for $5. And then a cute little snowman one, and it's both glossy on both sides, and this was $3, and that is everything I got at Target today. I never got to show you guys my November book haul last month because I was sick and didn't get to film the video, blah blah blah. So we got this book, Laika by Nick I don't know, Abscess, that's what it looks like, but it's a graphic novel. Then I got this Star Wars book that was pre-ordered a long time ago, but Star Wars The High Republic Convergence by Zoraida Cordova. So those are like 2 random ones where they go in like a different stack, because I don't put my graphic novels with my things, but with my rest of the books, I have my totes behind you, so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna put them in the totes. But then we have Heartstopper. I got this on Black Friday, and I got it for free. Actually, it was buy 2 get 1 free, and then they were on sale also. But Heartstopper Volume 1. Then on Cyber Monday at Amazon, I got Body Grammar by Jules Oman. So let me put that in the totes. Then also, I took them out. But then at Black Friday as well, this wasn't a Black Friday one. But this was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Epic romance kind of thing from what I've heard. Then for nonfiction November, I got Zelda by Nancy Milford. I thought it was by somebody different actually, but you know, mind playing tricks. And then this is another one that I heard is like an epic romance, and I did get this one at Black Friday, and this is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. And I got, this is my last one from Black Friday. This is The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, Off Campus. I love the first book in this series, probably one of my favorite romances, but not my favorite. It was a 5 out of 5. No, Book Lovers by Emily Henry is probably my favorite, but love the first book. And I have this on ebook, but I did want to buy a physical copy, and obviously on Black Friday is like the best time to do that. Then we got this one, A Very British Family, The Trevelyan's and Their World by Laura Trevelyan. She is the like news lady on the BBC that I watch every day, so I wanted to check out her books, so I got this one for myself because it was the one that I thought sounded more interesting. Then in the Unplugged book box, I got The Secret Garden of Yanagai Inn by Amber A. Logan. So this is like a Japanese retelling of the Secret Garden classic, children's classic book. That's a hardback. So, ooh, yeah, I haven't put the hardbacks on the bottom. And I'm doing it reverse in this crate. My bad. But then also for nonfiction November, I got the sporty one, My Life as a Spice Girl by Melanie C. So I'm gonna see how I'm doing my hardbacks in this box now, so I did not think things through. So then I got this one, which is very popular this year, Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, and I got it for 30% off, and it was the last one they had, so I was super happy about that. Then this was for nonfiction November again. This was another pre-order, and this is The Ruin of All Witches, Life and Death in the New World by Malcolm Gaskill. two more here, or three more actually. One's just really little. So this is for the Target Book Club, and this is White Horse by Erica T. Worth. And it was cool to get this in November, as it is by a Native American author, and November is Indigenous Peoples Month. In the US anyway, I don't know if that's in every country or what. But then my book of the month picks, so my add-on was The Stranger in the Woods, The Extraordinary Story of the Last True Hermit by Michael Finkel. And lastly, we have We Are the Light by Matthew Quick, which I did not know this is fantasy, but it shows up on Goodreads as fantasy, so that it's kind of scary, but I'll survive. It is 6 o'clock, so I am back at the hotel, and this is my last night here, and we're about to get into reading. I read literally 50 pages earlier in like an hour time, so we're definitely on track to finish the book. I have about 20 to 30 pages left. I'm not exactly sure how many pages there are. I know it's a little over 400 pages, so it is a little bit longer than I typically would do for my mood reads. Or this wasn't a mood read, this is a 5-star prediction, so ignore that. That was irrelevant, but we are going to get into reading and hopefully finishing the book. I finished the book and right at 7:30, which is really nice. If you don't know, that's my dinner time, so just very satisfying for me. So I read 92 pages in here today, so let's go into my thoughts. I'm gonna set the book down though. So for characters, I felt like the main character, they were the biggest downfall, basically, to put it lightly. Myra was just like a holier than thou kind of person, like I'm better than everybody else out here is just terrible. I'm the only good person left in this world. And then her daughter just was annoying, but like she's like 6 years old, so I don't feel like I can really judge her because she is a child. Yeah, and then the other characters just weren't developed enough for me to have a true opinion on. But atmosphere setting, the world building in here was fantastic. I feel like with these sci-fi and fantasy books, authors really have to do a good job with the world building, because this is a world that we don't really know, or this does take place in our world, but after our world has been flooded, so quite different from what our actual world is like at the moment. So the author did a great job at building this world and having lore behind the disasters that happened and the different factions in society and whatnot. The writing was average, it was fine, I have nothing wrong with it. Then the plot, it was really good, like in like words just saying it's a plot, like, oh, the world is all flooded and this mother has to go find her daughter and all of that. And it was really gripping at first, but as the story went on, I just got bored with it. I didn't really care as much, mainly because of the characters were annoying me so much that I was like, yeah, they deserve what's happening to them, I don't care. So I'm going to eat my dinner and then write my review, and then I will talk to y'all later when we get into my next book of the night. It is almost time to read, but I am going to be starting a little bit early because I am a tad sleepy. I wanted to watch Dairy Girls tonight. I'm watching a little collie dog on a walk right now, and I'm like, it's so cute. But we are going to begin into reading right now. It is almost 9, so this is Booth by Karen Joy Fowler. It was nominated for the Booker Prize this year on the long list. But let me tell you what it is about. So Booth is about, it's named for John Wilkes Booth, and if you don't know who that is, he is the man who shot President Abraham Lincoln, who later died from his wounds. So this story is showing his, so I read all of like book 1 in the book, and that was all about kind of his family and the backstory of his family, like how they came to America, what his parents did for a living, how they lived, his siblings, and all of that, and what just kind of the atmosphere they're around Bel Air, Maryland, which is in northern Maryland. I was like, what do I call that area? Because I was like, is it north? Like, is it northwest, northeast? I'm not sure. I would say it's like north central Maryland. And just about growing up in rural Maryland on a farm and all of that. So like, it was all about that, but he has been born now. But it is really showcasing America at that time period, and it's amazing. I'm loving it. I didn't really know what I would think going into it, but I am really enjoying it, and I do think it has 5-star potential. I am about 14% into it, I think. So I'm going to be getting into this, and then I will update y'all with my new thoughts after I'm done reading it for the night. Okay, last update of the night. I read 32 or 31 pages, and here getting me to 21%. So we're seeing more of a perspective of Edwin, who is John's older brother, and we're seeing what, because the family has now moved to the city, and we got some interesting plot twist, which it's interesting. I'm kind of seeing, or I'm kind of interested if maybe there are any comparisons between Abraham Lincoln's life and John Wilkes Booth's life, because this one little section we had about Lincoln, I was like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. I wonder if there's gonna be more. Okay, I remember something else that I wanted to talk about, is that their father, so the Booth's father was an actor, a Shakespearean actor, going all over the country, doing Shakespeare shows. He even went across to England some, and he is very well known. He knows like Sam Houston, Andrew Jackson, Edgar Allan Poe, and some other Baltimore poets, and I never really realized that. There is actually a rumor, again, this is just like a conspiracy theory rumor, that Abraham Lincoln is the illegitimate child of Andrew Jackson. Who knows? Some people think there's a resemblance, and then there's just like some theories there. Personally, I don't really know, because I don't know anything about these people. I just know I'm not a huge fan of Andrew Jackson, but we're not going to get into that today because this book is about Booth and not them. But I am, so usually I will say, oh hi Penny. I usually don't read my ebook on Wednesday. This is my Netflix night, which I'm still going to be doing, but last night I was so tired I fell asleep, and I still had 2% left to get to 40%, so I'm currently at 38% in Mist of Avalon. Now if you don't know what this is about, this is the Arthurian legends told at the perspective of the women. So the women in King Arthur's life, his mother, his sisters. Morgane is my favorite so far. Guinevere, is that her name? Yeah, she's kind of growing on me. I didn't like Igraine, and Vivian kind of something in here, which is an older book, and it's something we see a lot in older books, is the women just not getting along, women hating women, and I'm not really here for that, but I mean, it is realistic because I've seen a lot of that in my time. I just feel like there's a lot of competition, but I will be getting into this, and as I said, I'm starting at 38%. I want to get to 40, so I'm on little section 9. I don't know what, I think I'm in book 2 or book 3, I don't know, but starting on page 337, but that is my last update for the night, and probably my last update in the hotel, because I don't think I would update tomorrow, because checkout, you know, is in morning time, and I usually don't vlog in the mornings, but you never know. But I am going to go get a bath now, and then I will read The Mist of Avalon after that, or listen to. Yes, it is Thursday, and I am home, and so I brought in the big guns, because we know, anxiety, so I feel like this is pretty scary. It would be pretty scary for her mouse. Yeah, she's still on the leash. I need to take it off, but look, you have a toy right here. You don't need to be chewing on Penny's bed. So I have the cat, and then the big dog in here. Penny is having her lunch right now. This one's already had her lunch. So I figured, look, in a bed like that. But I figured this is like a nuke to mice. They'd be scared of this, so. I mean, it's a pit bull. Here, no, don't be chewing on the bed. Here. Yeah, this big sweetie. So it's just wagging. She's so happy to be in here. But yeah, I figured that this would be suitable, but I am home, and oh my gosh, you already have a hole in the bed. I need to get this bed out of here, so pray that I can do that. I haven't been home, so therefore I do have a lot of mail. So I did get my book of the month box for December. So we got like 2 free books in here, which is really awesome. So my choice for my pick for the book of the month of December is Kiss Her Once For Me by Alison Cochrane. This is It's the Best Time of the Year. So basically, okay, I'll just read the thing. 1 year ago, recent Portland transplant Ellie Oliver had her dream job in animation and a Christmas Eve bookstore meet cute with a woman she fell in love with over the course of a single night. But after her betrayal the next morning, the loss of her job soon after, she finds herself adrift, alone and desperate for money. So I think she like gets with this guy. No. The girl, Ellie, her brother gets engaged to the girl who she kissed and had the meet cute with and all. But we had that one, Christmas Romance. Then I am focusing on reading fantasy this month. Now this one is like loosely fantasy. I've heard that to some people it's like not at all, but it's the only one I really wanted to read out of the fantasy choices they had. And that is A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. So a hauntingly beautiful, hypnotic, and bewitching A History of Wild Places is a story about fairy tales, our fear of the dark, and losing yourself within the wildness of your mind. Woo. Yeah. So my book of the year so I had all of the books that were chosen except one, or like on the short list, and that was Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. So this is their book of the year 2022. This is by Gabrielle Zevin, and this is actually the book of the year for fiction at the Goodreads Award too. So in this auxiliary novel by the best-selling author of The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry, two friends often in love but never lovers come together as creative partners in the world of video games design, where success brings them, sorry, I saw my cat, them fame, joy, tragedy, duplicity, and ultimately a kind of immortality. I don't really know a ton about it, but I know a lot of people I follow really loved it. So then the bookmark this month says same time tomorrow with book of the month, and then you voted, we counted. So these were the short list. So I'm starting that one today. I'll start this one probably next week, and then I just got this one, and then I've read these two over here. So out of the ones that I had read, so only two of them I would have voted, and I did vote for Black Cake. But then your 2022 book of the year is Tomorrow, and Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. And then I don't know if this is just because I'm my best friend or if everybody gets these stickers, but these stickers, and we know love Christmas, love stickers, can't go wrong with that, so I do need to put that in the recycles. But I did get a book depository order because I usually like to do one, or not book depository, book outlet. I like to do one like once a year because there are plenty of cheap books, and we love that. So this is coming from Jefferson City, Tennessee. Warning, may contain awesome books. Cute. My dog hates when I open packages. Let's see, I didn't really get it good on that side. Okay, so there are a lot of books across all genres. First, ooh, this is a thick one. I didn't realize it was so thick. Oh, The Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. So a decadent rock star, a deeply religious radio host, a disgraced scientist, and a teenage girl who may be the world's last hope. From the mind of Chuck Wendig comes an magnum opus, a story about survival that's not just about you and me, but all of us together. Then Post-Traumatic by Chantel B. Johnson. This is Can Vivian Live Ecstatically After What Has Been Done to Her? Then Red Tent. This was on some actresses' favorite books. Was it like Sandra Bullock maybe? I don't know. It was somebody like well known. And this is by Anita Diamant. And this is the 20th anniversary edition. I don't remember what this is about. I feel like it was biblical. Yeah, I see the children of Jacob, children of Esau, and then Dinah in Egypt. That. Then we got Hood Feminism, Notes from the Woman That a Movement Forgot by Miki Kendall. So, you know, like white feminism, they often forget about other kinds of women. And in that stack, we have Acts of Desperation by Morgan Nolan. And this is Wouldn't I Do Anything to Reverse My Loss in the Absence of Him, a riveting cathartic literacy debut about love, addiction, and what it does to us. Honestly, I'm glad I'm not in that stage anymore, but that's for a different time. So this is When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. So, more than a decade ago, Miera fled Kixon, her small segregated hometown in the South, to forget. With every mile she traveled, she distanced herself from her past, from her best friend Celine, mocked by their town as the only white girl with black friends, from her old neighborhood, from Erie Woodsman Plantation, rumored to be haunted by the spirits of slaves, from the terrifying memory of a ghost she saw on that terrible day. What a dare gone wrong almost got Jesse, the boy she secretly loved, arrested for murder. And then I keep seeing this book and I'm like, did I buy it? Did I buy it? And that is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blouse. This is in 1970s Baltimore. We love that because it's Baltimore. We love it. And then Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. So a scathingly funny, wildly erotic, and fiercely imaginative novel about food, sex, and God from the acclaimed author of The Pisces and So Sad Today. And that is my book mail. Yeah, because I have issues. Like, if things are on sale, I'm going to buy them. It's just, I'm a couponer. I'm all of that. Like, if I see a sale, I'm going to do it. I did just start a new book, an audiobook, and we are, like I told you, I'm starting Lincoln Highway. So I read 32 pages in that sitting, which was probably like an hour on the audiobook. I have 8 hours left. So this is a master of absorbing sophisticated fiction returns. Okay. So spanning just 10 days and told from multiple point of views, Tolstoy's third novel will satisfy fans of his multi-layered literary style while providing them an array of new and richly imagined settings, characters, and themes. So I can't really tell y'all that much, but I do think this is going to be a more character-driven novel, especially now reading that little paragraph kind of confirms that for me. So basically in June 1954, 18-year-old Emmett Watson is driven home to Nebraska by the warden of the juvenile work farm, where he has served 15 months for involuntary manslaughter. His mother long gone, his father recently deceased, and the family farm foreclosed upon by the bank. Emmett's intention is to pick up his eight-year-old brother. I was picturing that guy being like a teenager, but okay. Billy, and head to California where they can start their lives anew. But when the warden drives away, Emmett discovers that two friends from the work farm have hidden themselves in the trunk of the warden's car. Together they have hatched an altogether different plan for Emmett's future, one that will take them all on a fateful journey in the opposite direction to the city of New York. So this is a very popular book. As I talked about, it was nominated for Book of the Year in several different categories and contests, and I just have heard other people really loving it so far. I don't really have any feelings because I am only like a little over 30 some pages in an over 500 page book, but I'm gonna go feed Bud. We're saying it's his birthday today because I first ever saw him on January 8th of this year So, and he looked like he was about a month old then. And if you're all like, why do you leave a month-old kid out on your stoop? I tried to get him and he ran off and I couldn't find him because it was like late at night. So I was like, okay, so what is a month from the day where I first ever saw him would be today, but you know, 2021. So I got him some fancy tuna food for dinner, like wet cat food rather than the hard cat food. So I'm going to go give that to him now. So here it is. I'm not going to show you how it opened because I do know cat food and animal food in general looks kind of gross, but this is what it is, and he's right here. Happy birthday. Let me get your food ready for you. Well, he went right for it. I didn't know if he would be hesitant because I've never given him wet food before, but he seems to be very much enjoying it. I just got home for like the 5th time today, so I just had to go pick up some things. I had to get kitty litter for the litter box, and so I picked up a few other things while I was there because I did need one more pillowcase because the Urban Outfitters pillowcases, they only come with 2. So I got this silk one, and yeah, that does match that pink. So I just want a singular pillowcase, and like, you know, that's impossible to find. So I ended up getting a fancy silk one, which I know this is good for hair, so crafted from silk, a luxurious soft design that also is gentle on skin and hair, and it's 100% silk, and it is by the brand Casaluna. I like that name, Moonhouse. Also by them, so I don't know if I can do this exact essential oil. I'm gonna have to do research to see if it is pet friendly. I don't know if it's been open or not because you can test things in stores, you know. So I am going to have to look online because some essential oils is toxic to animals. So doing it in the diffuser, I've never had issue. I've never had issue in general with essential oils on my pets, but I know for like some people have had that happen. So again, this is by Casaluna. This is organic peppermint. So that, again, as I said, have to research. I'm seeing where this brand is from. I haven't heard of them before. Oh, they must be through Target. And it's bottled all in the USA, so that's awesome. So then I got a diffuser, which the diffuser was literally cheaper than the pillowcase, but $25 for this like ceramic diffuser, that's like really nice. So this is ultrasonic essential oil diffuser with the remote. Oh, it has a remote. I've never had one with the remote. Fill the air with a soothing scent from your favorite essential oils. As essential oils sold separately, as we saw. And so it has a 200 milliliter capacity up to 5 hours, 9 light settings, 2 mist modes, and then a sleep mode, which, again, I've never had one that has that, so there's all that. Again, and then what it actually looks like. So I was actually shocked that it was so cheap, that it was only $25. So everything I got was by that Casaluna brand, so I'm going to put my pillowcase on my pillow, and then put my pillow, okay, my pillow's in the living room, because, yeah, I had these 2 pillows that I got pillowcases for, because I got new pillowcases and new sheets, and I do have a new comforter coming, but it's not going to here until Tuesday. I couldn't find a Urban Outfitters one that fit the length of my bed, and Fred's looking at Delilah's toys. He's like, what is this? I couldn't find one, because I have a full-size bed that's literally from, I think, 1984, so it is a quite old bed, so it's hard to find things that are the exact measurements. I usually have to go through Amazon. I have found stuff at Belk before, so do recommend Belk for that. Who else loses their headphones like crazy? Like, how do y'all with the wireless ones do it? Because y'all know I listened. Y'all saw me take them out, so let's go on an adventure, everybody, around my house. Like, because we were filming at the coffee table when I did that like unboxing earlier, and hopefully I don't think the BBC will copyright me, will they, for talking? Like, I am not seeing my headphones anywhere, and I'm doing an audiobook, so it's like I need the headphones. Where could I have put them? I did go outside, and I had them while I was outside. This is bad. This is really bad. They were with my phone charger over there. I'm charging my stuff on top of those boxes. So we got the headphones. And we're starting at 6:06, but that's the earliest we have started the 6 o'clock reading hour like all week. So I'm going to get to reading now. Okay, so I'm done reading Lincoln Highway for the day. Yeah, that's what it's called, right? So I am 85 pages in, so let's put that into Goodreads. I feel like I'm talking really loud. I don't know, but I'm currently in my room, you know, terrified, not even exaggerating. I am very scared being in here. So page 85. So I read 14%. I honestly wasn't, it's not gonna focus that well. Maybe it is. So 14%, which I usually don't get thoughts till I'm a quarter of the way in. I think if this is a movie or show, Jacob Elordi should play Emmett. Like, that's what I'm picturing. And I know that guy, he likes the 1950s and all that. So like, I think it'd be fitting for him. But yeah, I think this is going to be really a character-driven story, but I'm only 14% of the way into it. I don't know, like, I have no feelings towards it at this moment. I am going to, I don't know what I'm going to do right now because I ate my dinner because I was super tired, so I stopped reading for a little bit, charged my phone, ate some dinner because I was like, I will fall asleep if I keep reading, and I don't want to do that because I want to get to these books tonight as well. But yeah, so I have no idea what I'm going to do because I don't really feel comfortable doing anything. Like, okay, all that over there has me like paranoid. I'm like, that where the paper comes out, a mouse would love that. And then how I told you they were in the fan, I'm like, what stops them from getting in the PlayStation or router or any of that? But tomorrow, like, I bought 2 totes because I wanted to put my books that weren't on a shelf in a tote, and then wanted to put my Funkos in another tote, but I do not have enough room for that. So I'm definitely gonna have to buy another tote. I just did not have room today because I bought new litter boxes and all that fun stuff as well. So next week I will buy another tote to put my Funkos in. And then I do have some Webkins over there that I need, honestly, to put up another one of these, to be honest. Like, I really need to do that, but I don't know where to put one. That's the issue. And I want this little plastic thing out of here, but I don't have anywhere to put the clothes inside because I don't have a dresser. But yeah, that's where I want to put a dresser. Can I zoom y'all out a little more? Yeah, I want to put a dresser over there, or get another bookshelf and put the books that are on my bookshelves in there because they're little tiny bookshelves. put them on another bookshelf and then put the dresser in there, but I have to measure it, which I can do. I do own a measuring tape, but I just haven't got around to doing that yet. But I do have Penny in here with me. That's from having pets, is why my floor is disgusting. Yeah, I hear some kind of military plane, but yeah, I want hardwood floors. That's the dream. But I know my dad, he doesn't even want to build a dresser, so of course I'm never going to get hardwood floors in this house. But yeah, they get disgusting, and I do need a vacuum over there still. I don't like using that vacuum, so I'm going to make my dad do it, because that vacuum, it's stabbed me several times in the abdomen, and then the thing pops off and dust gets everywhere. So I need like a smaller, lightweight vacuum. That is on my Christmas list, so like hopefully I do end up getting one, but that's gonna be all for now. I'm telling y'all, this has me so paranoid. That's over the vent, if you're wondering, that magazine, but it stressing me out. Like, I need to clean up all that tomorrow. I need to clean up under my bed. Like, I need to do a lot. For the vlog at 9 o'clock at night. I have read today, but not a ton. Like, I've read what I normally read on Friday, which I never read a ton on Friday, but I've been super sleepy today, and I did take like an hour-and-a-half nap. Like, I went to bed during the Argentina-Netherlands game, woke up, saw the end for the shootout. I did watch the Croatia-Brazil game, and that was very much enjoyable. And then I had to go take some trash to the dump, and then, yeah, here comes Fred. And then we drove around, because that's what we do on Friday. And oh my gosh, I was in a really big traffic jam earlier, because we were like doing construction, and yeah, people, not like when they tell you do not pass and people like pass anyway, like why? So we have Red in the Lincoln Highway today, getting to 21%, and Fred is right there. Okay, so 37 pages, so not a ton. And I did read Booth and Mist of Avalon last night, but I just need to update y'all because I had other stuff to do. Nothing like bad or anything, but I have a routine. So we're about to get into Booth now for the first time today, and we know this is my favorite out of everything I'm reading at the moment. I'm really enjoying it, but this, no real thoughts. Like, it's fine. Like, it's a 2 or 3. Like, I don't really care. Like, it's just fine. But I do think it will, this is going to be a long process. I mean, look how big it is. So I do think it is, you have to give it time. And I think we're going to have great character work and all of that good stuff. I don't know why I haven't put y'all back on the tripod, but I just got done reading Booth for the day, and I read 33 pages in there. So I did read more than yesterday, even if it's just a page, but we love that. So I am loving this book. I don't exactly know why I'm loving it. I'm just really, really enjoying it. But we are learning more about John Wilkes Booth. Johnny Wilkes, those are the nicknames he's been given. And he's not been a point of view yet. So I finished book 2 tonight. So book 1 was mainly at Rosalie's perspective, book 2 at Edwin. So I wonder who book 3 is really going to be at the perspective of. But back to John Wilkes Booth. Loki has psychopath behaviors. I don't want to officially say he's one because I do not know, but there's some things, but like I feel like you have to have some mental illness to kill somebody that you don't know, like, so there was some animal cruelty, not like killing or like actually injuring the animals, but basically he was tying up cats, like tying them up to each other, like just weird. And then his talks of saying slavery was the best thing that ever happened to Black people, like those kind of things. So you can tell he's obviously not all there, and that there's something up with him. And yeah, and then we do have excerpts, as I said, of Abraham Lincoln's life. I didn't realize his relationship with Mary Todd was so toxic. Again, I don't know what is true and what is not, because I don't know a lot about the Booth family. I don't know a lot about Lincoln. I know the very basics. So that's one thing I love about historical fiction when I'm reading it. I'm like, I can't wait to go research all of this. Like, yeah, so definitely gonna have to get some nonfictions around these subjects. But basically, so one before Abe and Mary were married, they were really on and off again. And then once they were married, neighbors reported seeing her like hit him with boards, like black in his eyes and bloody nose, or her chasing him around the yard half dressed, like kind of crazy stuff. But again, I don't know what's really fact and what's just gossip or what's fiction for the sake of historical fiction. But we will be reading Mist of Avalon tonight. Let's see, I think I'm at like 40 or 45%. I think it's 45% that I'm at. So I'll be starting on page 397 in there. I am about to get a bath, but so far we've read 37 plus 33 pages, so I think that's 70 some pages today. But yeah, we're gonna take a bath. Oh my gosh, guys, look at him. That is all Fred. Like, dude. Care to explain what you're doing? I don't think he wants to explain. Let me cover his tag. Like, okay, let's start this over, because again, I am having a terrible day. Nothing as bad as last week, but I just feel angry today. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just mad. Like, I want a dresser, I want another cat, and no one is out here trying to help me out. But then my computer was being so frustrating because I got Crusader Kings 2 yesterday and it worked perfectly fine, and I learned all how to work it, and then today it like would not open. I would click play and it would just go back to Steam. I got that fixed somehow, I don't know how. And then I couldn't find out how to, I zoomed out and then I zoomed too far in and I was like, I don't know how to get out of here. I'm doing the pinching the mouse pad, but it wasn't working. And then I got it out some, not as far as I'd like for it to be, but what can I do? And then you have to right click to interact with other characters, and the right click just was not working. And I'm angry. I got those little ultrasonic things, but I'm too scared to plug them in because it was like rule number 5. It was like more mice and vermin might appear because they are leaving, and I'm like, I don't want to see any of those, so I should have got these things last week. I was about to swear last week and put them up then so I wouldn't have been here, but no, I didn't know about them then because I am stupid. Not really, I'm not, but it's just, I feel so frustrated and angry, and I don't know, like, I'm just, I don't know. I haven't had a good December in 2 years. In 2020, I had a great one. I was like, that was a fantastic Christmas. Then last year, I was in Washington, so always after I travel, I'm always very tired, so I come back home and I'm like exhausted. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. And then I got the COVID booster and that knocked me down for like 3 days, and we know I don't react well to the COVID shots out of 2 out of the 3 times I haven't. So like I was sick and all of that. And then this year I was gone for like the first week of December, and now I'm home and anxious and OCD and all of that. And I'm just like, I want to have a happy Christmas. That is all I want, and it never happens. Never, never, never. I wish I could go back to 10 years ago. I was thriving. I was having a great time, but sadly you can't do that. You can't go back in time. But it's 1 minute away from reading, so we're gonna get into Booth, which I am loving that book, so hopefully that will pep my moods up, and then hopefully in between chapters when I go back to the video game that it works a little bit, because I really want to play, but my computer wants to be dumb. So I'm gonna order a cordless or a wireless, whatever, mouse for a laptop. But that's not gonna be till the end of the month because I've spent a ton of money this month on, like, you know, the Cyber Monday, Black Friday, all of that, buying gifts for people that I don't want to spend any more money. But I am going to get into reading now and hopefully feel better. I am almost to the halfway point now. I am at 48%. I read 66 pages today, again, me to page 233. So how I was talking about how like each book seems to be at a different sibling's perspective. So we are at Asia's perspective now, and she's like the feisty sibling. I don't know if she is actually a middle child. Yeah, she is a middle child. And you can very much see that she can't find a place where she fits in the family, because like her brother Edwin, who we had last time, was who she was really close with, but he has moved to San Francisco, so all the way across the country. So Edwin was the sibling who, he was, I know my mind is scattered. Like, they're all well developed. That's the thing I'm trying to get to, is that how different they all are. Edwin was wanting to live the life that his family didn't want him to live. Like, he wanted to go down the same path that his father went down, but his family don't really want that for him. And then Rosalie is the oldest, is the oldest daughter, and she has had it pretty rough because she had to fall in and kind of be the parent to her siblings while her parents were always away because, again, her father was an actor touring, all of that, and then the mom was dealing with the father. Basically, the mom was parenting the father, so the oldest daughter had to parent the rest of the kids. And so we're seeing really how all this impacts this whole family. We are getting more detail on John. I think John is wanting to be like the complete opposite of his family, and therefore he's getting into a lot of trouble. And obviously we know how his story ends in American history, that he is a name that pretty much I would say every American probably knows, and not for good reason. But that is all I'm going to read in there tonight. With Mist of Avalon, I'm not sure what page I'm starting on. Let me awkwardly lean over here, and I will be starting in Mist of Avalon on page 434. Guys, happy Sunday. So I totally did not edit yesterday, so I am behind on that, but that's okay. Look at this hair. Look at it. Okay, so we're gonna get into Booth. We are at 117 pages in total yesterday of all my reading across all the books. So today we're gonna be starting on page 233. Let me put that in here. So here's to hoping that this coming week is going to be a great week. It's been 2 weeks since like the first incident, which we can assume both incidences like happened on the same day, but I didn't find the other till like 3 days later. We can assume, but I really don't know. But we can hope that all my anxiety is gone, that I am giving strength, and that I will get through this week with no issue. Like, he's listening to me. Best friend. Best friend. But yeah, so here's to that. Positive vibes. We have to manifest that it's going to be a good week. We're going to be okay. Everything is going to get back into order, and you just have to think those things and it will come to fruition. Cato. So we are going to get into reading now. I have been in a lot better mood, a lot better of a mood today. I got to go to my grandma's house, and when I go there, I just vent the whole time, and it feels so good. It's like therapy. And I showed her how to use the Facebook app on her phone, so that was fun. And then I am getting her set up with kind of like trail cameras kind of thing to watch the animals in her yard, like the little birds and squirrels and, you know, all that. So that's, I'm not doing that till like Christmas, but we did get that all set up. I went to Walmart today for like, I go like 2 times a year to get something for somebody, to buy somebody a gift. And then I went to the grocery store after and got myself some cupcakes, which is really nice because I have not had cupcakes. He is still listening. Oh, I might have had to cut that because his little tag thing, I don't want his information out there. We don't want your information to be stolen. No, that's why I'm awkwardly holding around his like chest. But yeah, okay, I am lollygagging. I need to get a reading. Excuse me, sir. Hello. I just got done with Booth for the day, reading 80 pages, getting me to page 313, which is 65%. Such a satisfying number. Now let's talk about my thoughts. We got to another book, and now it's just had the perspectives just alternating in the chapter, and I think this is really a fascinating way to see the story of a murderer by seeing the people around him, and those being people who are closest to him, and seeing from their perspective maybe red flags or just things that are off, and just seeing what they think of their brother, and just seeing how he got to that point of being a murderer. Because obviously I think a lot builds up to somebody going to that extent of killing somebody and killing the most powerful man in the country is pretty insane. So I like that we're getting it told from that way and not at the point of view of Booth. I do think maybe, or at the point of view of John Wilkes. I do think that could be an interesting story, but I am really loving how this is being told. And again, this is going to be a 5-star. I love it. it's definitely a new favorite and I am recommending it to like everybody. Now, Mist of Avalon, what page are we starting on tonight? We are going to be starting on page 486. Now, where is my pen? Where's my pen? Okay, 486. Okay, so let's do the end of the week check-in here. So with my currently reading, so with the Lincoln Highway, I am at 21% of the way through, and that is by Amor Tolles. Why am I doing Spanish? Tolles. Then I am with Booth by Karen Joy Fowler. I am 65% of the way through, so I definitely do think I will be finishing that one this week. And with The Mist of Avalon, which is the first book in the Avalon series by Marianne Zimmer Bradley, I am, according to Goodreads, 48% of the way through. And let's see on the Kindle app, and I will be picking this up tonight and reading 5% more. So I'm currently at 55%, but by the end of the night, I will be at 60% of the way through. But I will see you guys on Monday. I don't know if this is the end of the vlog or not, because I need to go edit what I've filmed the past week. Happy Monday, everybody. Did my makeup here at the kitchen table. I got my sit down video of the week filmed, and now I'm going to head out, go downtown, take some pictures, and go to Chick-fil-A. But I have read today, and I'm starting to think the Lincoln Highway is overhyped. Like, I'm just like, it's fine. It's a 2-star. Like, I don't really care what's happening. So that's the thoughts right now. But I did a new makeup look today, or one that I haven't done in a while. The eyeliner turned out kind of crazy, not really too happy with that, but I do think I look cute, and that is all that matters. But yeah, I'll catch up with y'all later. Guys, look at this. Santa Claus. To get back to reading, but I did want to let y'all know like the more in detail. So we start on page 122 today, and I am currently on page 1. Oh my gosh, have I really only read 11 pages? What? No, I do not believe this. Like, did I not update it maybe? Okay, yeah, I didn't, because I'm doing the audiobook and I didn't flip to the page that I'm actually on. This is awkward. I need to find out where I am, because as I said, I do follow along in the audiobook, but since I'm not really loving it, I have been playing video games while listening, which is what I often do with audiobooks, is I'm usually playing a video game in the background as I listen or edit a video, and this guy, he's gonna get rid of my book. So I will talk to y'all when I am done reading this for the day, which will literally be in like an hour and a half. All right, so I'm actually on page 160. I knew I had not only read that little bit, because I was like, I read for like an hour. There's no way I only read 10 pages. But okay, now I'm getting back to reading. So I'm done reading the Lincoln Highway for the day. Let's see how many pages I read and all of that good stuff, and then give y'all my thoughts. So we got through Emmett's little section there. Excuse me. So we got to page 206. So 206 minus 122 was 84 pages. So that's pretty good if you ask me. 84, and then let's put into the phone that we got to page 206. Goodreads here, update progress, 206. So we got to 35% when we were on 21%. So this book, as I said, characters I'm not really attached to in any way. Atmosphere, I feel like this does paint the perfect picture of America, and like really real America but stereotype at the same time, because this is the 1950s, and I feel like when you think 1950s, you think 1950s United States. Like, I don't know why, because that's really when America became a superpower, I guess. And you picture like the diners, the outfits, the hair, and all that, like Coca-Cola, like glass Coca-Cola bottles, like that's what I think when I think 1950s. Oh, and like the cars, and I really associate it with like that aqua blue and then red. Those are the colors that come to mind. Like, I feel like this paints that setting perfectly. I feel like it just nails 1950s America, mid-America, like Midwest. I feel like it's perfect, absolutely perfect. Writing, I have nothing wrong with the writing. There's a lot of paragraphs that I like and all. I'm just bored. I'm not connected with the characters. Plot, this isn't really a plot heavy, because I do feel like this is supposed to be a character driven novel. I mean, there is obviously a plot of these guys going across America and all of that, but I'm not connecting with it. I feel like I'm somebody who, I am a character driven person, so if I'm not really connecting with the characters, I'm not going to care about really anything else. So this is like a 2-star, 2.5 star. It's not bad. It's fine. It's just not for me. I do think maybe at another time in my life it might be better. So I don't think I'm going to unhaul this book. I do think I am going to keep it and maybe reread it later. But those are my thoughts right now. And at 9 o'clock we will be picking up Booth. Time to get into Booth. We are starting a little bit late because I had to get all my skincare products back in my room. So let's see, what page are we starting on tonight? We are starting on page 313, which is a Lincoln section called Lincoln Running. So I'm assuming this is when Abraham Lincoln begins his run for presidency. And we are done reading in there. So we got to page 338. Sorry, y'all are kind of crooked. I'm getting used to using the tripod again and all of that. So 338, so 38 minus 13 is 25 pages. So I'm proud of that. That's like how much I try to get done in my 9 o'clock reading sprint. So let's put that in to Goodreads here, 338. So I don't really have a lot more to say, but we have had the entrance of John Wilkes Booth, as we're very obviously getting close to war, but we are at 70% now. And let's see, with the Mist of Avalon, where we're going to be starting tonight. So I did get to, what was it, like 60% in here. I'm going to be starting on page 534, so let's write that down. But I am going to go take this makeup off and get a bath, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I haven't updated y'all today, but I've spent a lot of time outside today reading, so I have read more than I usually would read in a day. It just felt really nice, and we are getting that cold front that's coming in from the west, so I'm taking in all the sun I can get because I love being in the sunshine. And then I went and got some Italian food, so we are still reading The Lincoln Highway. In about 50 minutes I will be giving y'all my update on my thoughts of this for the day. I did read quite a bit today, but only 5 more pages than yesterday. So I read 89 pages, getting me to 295, which is 51% of the way through. So we are a little over halfway there. I'm still not feeling anything, like it's just fine. Like, I don't really care about this book whatsoever. I'm kind of amazed that people love this book so much, that it was nominated for a lot of awards and all of that, and I'm just not seeing why. But I would still give this book a chance because since so many people like it, and it might just be a me thing, it's just might not be the right time for me to read it. That's why I don't think I'm going to unhaul it, because I do think I could love this book later on. There's a lot of things, like my all-time favorite movie, which is right there. I did not like it the first time I watched it. Then I watched it again and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then watched it again and I'm like, this is the best film ever made. So you never know. Things do get better as you evolve as a person, your opinions change, and we just grow, and our interests change, and all that kind of thing. So that's why I think you should always give something a chance. But I'm going to be getting into Booth later, but I did want to give you all that update on the Lincoln Highway. It's time to get into Booth tonight. I'm so sorry. Well, not so sorry. We have finished books in this vlog. That I have to remind myself of that, because since this is like a very long extended vlog than usual, because I'm like, I've just been in the middle of these books forever. I promise we are getting somewhere and we will finish more books throughout the month. But yes, I am about to get into Booth starting on page 338 and it is currently 9:02. This is such an unnecessary thing for me to be triggered about, and it might have been this way when this was happening, I don't know, but Charlotte, South Carolina. That Charlotte is in North Carolina? I wish it was in South Carolina, but no, that is wrong. I don't know if maybe when this book was taking place if Charlotte ever was in South Carolina, but I'm pretty sure it's always been North Carolina, so yeah, there's that. All right, shall we get those final thoughts in? So we got to page 364. My lips are kind of chapped. Okay, 364 here. 364, how many times can I say it? So we are at 5%, we are at 75% now, so let's do 64 minus 38. So 26 pages, so one more page than yesterday. It did not feel like that much. So we will be getting into the Mist of Avalon tonight, and we will be starting in this on page 570. So let's write that down. I read 36 pages in there last night, by the way. So yesterday I read a total of 145 pages, but I am going to end the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way through, leave a horse emoji in the comments below. And I will have my Amazon wish list linked down below as well, as it is the giving season. But as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!